All right.
Hey, this is Locked On Bulldogs. What do you know about next year, Daniel? Do you think you have any idea of how the season is going to play out? Or maybe not but do you want to wager a guess at how some Bulldogs might be doing and faring
You had me
offensively
at
and
wager.
defensively? Well, that's kind of what we do, right? We pontificate. Daniel and I are going to pontificate about next year's squad next on Locked On Bulldogs.
You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome to the Locked On Bulldogs podcast. Thank you for being here. Thanks for making us your first listen. Thanks to FanDuel for bringing us today's episode. He is Clint. I am Daniel. This is Locked On Bulldogs, your team every day, your podcast for the Georgia Bulldogs every single day. We may be in the throes of the offseason, but Clint, there's still plenty to talk about this team. The 2024-25 campaign is right around the corner.
Yep.
It'll be spring practice before you know it. I'm talking about actually before you know it. It'll be spring practice. Pads will be popping. We will see some of these young guys out on the field. We'll be getting reports. We'll be hearing from coaches. And then we'll get to see the G-Day game in all of its glory. There's plenty for us to discuss. Let's look ahead to next year's team. And let's do so in one of our favorite ways. We do this pretty regularly on here, but we're going to give each other some over-under wagers. So we'll have a statistical metric or something, and then we'll present it as an over-under.
I'm gonna throw a curveball, Daniel, because you said something we do quite often on the show. You can get with this, or you can get with that.
Okay. No, I love it. It's over under in the this or that type of vein.
Yes.
199ers will know what we're talking about. By the way, Clint, how's your back? Is your back okay? Have you thrown out your back recently, or is everything
several times?
Several times. Well, I hear life can come at you fast. It can happen to the best of us, and so
I haven't one time attempted to look athletic and hurt myself, though. Like, do you see what I'm saying? There's been times I've been athletic and I've hurt myself, but there's not been a time that I have dressed.
There's been times you've been athletic and not hurt yourself, I assume, as well. Yeah. Well, but speaking of that, welcome back to 199. We're happy to have you all here, and longtime listeners of the show will know that we love to play this game, this or that. And so, I'm going to let Clint start. He's going to ask me a question. He's going to give me two options that I can choose between, and then we will see how optimistic we are about certain players or certain aspects of the 2024 Georgia season.
Now, I'm going to take one player that we are very excited for. I'm going to give you two separate statistics and rank him in those on the team and see which one you would rather go with, which one you feel better about.
I love it.
So the subject matter is Travis Etienne. Or Trevor Etienne. I apologize. Trevor Etienne.
Yeah. Well, we could talk about Travis too if you wanted. I think he'll have a decent year with the Jaguars. But
he should. Yeah. Trevor Etienne. Okay. You can get with this, which is leading the team in rushing yards.
Okay.
Or you can get with that being fourth or above in receptions for the team this year.
Am I choosing between which I think is most likely to happen or which I would prefer as a fan of the team?
This is fantastic. Let's start with what you think is the likelier of the two, and then we'll get to which one you prefer. So start with what you think is going to happen, betting odds that you're actually going to win money on this wager.
He's going to lead the team in rushing yards. He's going to do that. 100%. And honestly, I can't fathom a world in which he's fourth or higher in receiving yards or receptions. Did you say
receptions? Not receiving yards. Receptions.
Hey, he could be up there, fifth, sixth in the team in receptions. I could see that. He's going to lead this team in rushing yards, though. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that I don't think Branson Robinson's going to be healthy for the start of the season. We'll learn a lot, I hope, in fall camp. We'll learn a lot. We're not going to learn anything in the spring, I'll tell you that.
No.
Like, he's not going to be out there. He's not going to be doing anything. You're going to see a video of
players that will actually play at G-Day is going to be startlingly low.
Over under 6 players that will play at G-Day. What are you going with?
Just an Oklahoma drill on repeat. 3-on-3. Let's go.
He's going to lead the team in rushing yards, and I think that'll have to do with the health of the other backs on the team.
Yeah.
And so I do like him to do that. Now, what would be better for the team? That's interesting to say, because if he doesn't lead the team in rushing yards,
what does that mean?
We're taking injuries out of this. We're taking random dumb fluke injuries out of it.
Branson coming back needs to recover from the already injury that he has. So we're not saying
what that means, because we know what we're going to get out of Trevor Etienne. We feel like he's the most proven commodity in the backfield.
Yeah.
So if he doesn't lead this team in rushing yards, I think, one, that means Georgia's rushing attack is prolific.
Yes.
Like, we have multiple 800-yard backs, because I think 800 yards is kind of the floor.
It is
for where I put Etienne.
It means Frazier has come in and is third on this team in rushing attempts.
So he doesn't lead the team in rushing yards. That means we have multiple 800-yard backs, and now all of a sudden the running back two-headed monster is alive and well at Georgia that we remember. And so I love that. That could be nice. Whereas I think if he's up there in terms of number of receptions, yes, I think that could mean the offense is dynamic. I think Carson Beck could be having a great year. But I just think, especially with the way that I expect the passing game to look this year, more 3 wide receiver sets, three wide receivers, 1 tight end, 1 back sets. I think you're just going to have too many guys out there catching passes. And so if he's 4th or higher on the team in receptions, I think that might actually make me feel a little bit worse about the wide receiver room and what things are happening there in the passing game. Whereas right now I'm pretty excited about that room, albeit without a position coach at the moment.
He's going to lead this team in rushing. And like you said, it's for the health. Trevor Etienne is going to be a great addition to this offense. And if you don't think so, check yourself. We are glad to have him. It wasn't a position in need, like we said, but he's going to lead. So I would say yes to that. And I would like to say, I want chunk runs. I want explosive runs. I want those aspects. And so Etienne being the guy that's going to get those, I think is great for me as a fan, as well as for the team. All in all, we're going to come back and do another this or that. But first, these. And these are, in fact, FanDuel. FanDuel.com/lockedon. Daniel, right now, I know that we are in the doldrums of many things, but there's a couple of pretty big things coming up in the horizon. One that's got just the beautiful voice over a nice, quiet background.
It's Vern Lundquist's last Masters this year.
Masters, guys.
Makes me feel a lot of feelings. I have some very strong feelings about Vern Lundquist I've made clear on this podcast, but the fact that this is his last Masters. Hey, Harris English.
Here we go.
Longtime friend of the show, Harris English.
Hello.
Who's, by the way, shout out to Harris if he's listening to this episode.
He is.
You could catch your boy Harris English at some pretty nice odds on FanDuel. I was just looking at the other day. I can't quote it because I don't remember exactly what the number is. But
Go check it out.
You want to lay $5-10 on Harris English to win the Masters. I don't hate it at all.
Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any $5 bet that wins. $150 bonus bets, quick bets, live same game parlays, exclusive props, and more. FanDuel.com/lockedon. Shoot your shot. FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA. All right, Daniel, I'll give you Etienne.
Go here.
You're next.
Clint. You can get with this.
Okay.
Which mine's going to be phrased in the classic over-under, because I was not privy to your curveball before this show.
You could keep making excuses, or you can just show me what you got.
You can get with
your
this, which is I'm going to set the number at 8.5.
Okay. It's under, but yes.
Set the number at 8.5, and I'm going to say double-digit wins by the University of Georgia football team in the regular season. 8.5. You going to take the over, or are you going to take the under? What I'm asking is not only how many games are we going to lose, but how many games are going to be close this year? How many games are we going to be in a sweat over this year as we think through this schedule? How many games is Georgia going to maybe not cruise to a victory, but win comfortably by double digits? I'm going to give you the number at 8.5, and I'm going to let you choose.
Oh boy, that is. I said under. Let me just go down through the list and let me. I think Clemson is going to be closer than double digits.
So we're already 0 for 1. We're already under there.
Tennessee Tech, sure, double. Kentucky, sure, double. I like my.
Let's not even belabor the point.
Ask me if I'm scared of Kentucky this year. The answer is I got we fine. Alabama is not. Okay, I got 2 so far. Auburn, possibly.
Sneaky pick. Pick.
Mississippi State, yes. Texas, no. Florida, yes. Ole Miss, no. Tennessee, yes. Massachusetts, yes. Georgia Tech, I am right at 8.
You're at 8,
Daniel.
You're at 8. So you're going to go under?
I'm going to go under. We are going to be the games are going to be close. Clemson's going to be close. Alabama's going to be close. Auburn, who knows there? Texas, Florida, Texas, Ole Miss will be close.
You're at 8 with kind of a lean to 7.
Lean to 7.
You're probably
because
more
that
like
Auburn
a
I'm not
7.5.
sold on. Because again, I hate Auburn in all totality. I hate that game every single year. I'm going to go under, Daniel, because I don't know. Maybe this offense does start clicking with all the new additions, and maybe the defense is able to stop people where we weren't able to last year. And maybe we're going to have a couple of but I don't know.
Over,
I just
under.
don't see it.
This is a bonus question. Over, under 0.5. Double-digit losses for Georgia this year.
We lose by double digits. Will we
over,
lose
under
by
0.5
double digits at any point this year? There is one game I think we can lose by double digits.
Texas?
I don't think we
Ole
lose
Miss.
Texas double digits. I think we could lose to Ole Miss by double digits.
This man is having a lot of Kool-Aid over here. Somebody check just send him the number of a nice dentist if you know it, because this man is drinking a lot of Ole Miss Kool-Aid now.
It comes between Florida and Tennessee. It comes
I'm aware
on the
of where
back.
it falls on the schedule.
I'm just saying.
I think Georgia, I would take the over on double-digit losses. I honestly think there's multiple games Georgia could lose by double digits this year. Ole Miss is not first or second on my list. So
Texas and
I think Georgia could lose by double digits to Alabama.
Yeah.
That doesn't change the fact that Kalen DeBoer was a laughable joke hire and that the Alabama dynasty is dead. But I think Georgia could absolutely go to Tuscaloosa and lose by double digits. I think there's a chance Georgia could have multiple double-digit losses this year and still make the college football playoff.
I created this game for today's episode, and I hate that I did.
Done.
I hate that.
Look at what you've done. We got more to discuss. Clint's going to try to pay me back for the evil that I have brought into his life right after this.
But this is LinkedIn. LinkedIn is fantastic. Daniel and I love them. We are all about them. And it's not just another job board. LinkedIn has a vast network of more than 1 billion professionals, which makes it the best place to hire. It gives you access to professionals you can't find anywhere else. LinkedIn does all that while making the process easy and intuitive. Hiring is easy when you have the many qualified candidates. So easy, in fact, that 86% of small businesses get a qualified candidate within 24 hours. That is quick and fast. You know fast. Anybody? You got a boy somewhere that needs LinkedIn? Daniel needs somebody that needs a quick 24-hour turnaround on a job. No,
I mean, we're all looking for something. If you know of anything out there, like we're just
let them know.
We out here.
2.5 million small businesses use LinkedIn for hiring. Right now, post your job for free at linkedin.com/lockedoncollege. That's linkedin.com/lockedoncollege. Post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. Well, Daniel, I was going to go in a similar vein to what you're doing, but it's only on one side of what you were alluding to.
Okay.
In order to lose by double digits, you have to give up points. And this defense...
Here we go.
This defense was not...
Hurt people. Did we talk about this on yesterday's show? Is this what we talked about on yesterday's show?
We did.
People
and if I know
hurt other people. Yep.
Yep, that's right. This defense was much maligned.
Hurt us.
You and I.
They hurt us bad.
They had me saying they had me repeating Jimmy C offensive coordinator type propaganda. And that's on me. Fool me once.
Mm-hmm. Here we go.
Okay. How many times does Georgia defense give up more than 23 points this year? I'm going to set the over-under at 5.
23 points.
23 points given up by Georgia. Over-under 5.
I think it's... probably... I think that's a good number, first of all, because I think it's probably 5. But if I had to lean away, I guess I would lean the under, which might surprise you because it's me being optimistic about the defense. Because...
Well, you take it because I'm off of that horse. So it needs a rider.
I don't think it's going to be the 5 that you think it's going to be. Could I say it that way? I don't
this
think
is interesting.
It's going to be the 5 that you might look at the schedule and you might go, oh, this is the 5 obvious games that Georgia might give up 23 points. I think Ole Miss is an obvious choice. I think Texas is an obvious choice. I think those are games where Georgia, I would put it at likely that Georgia gives up 23 points in those 2 games. But I also think you look at a game like Tennessee, I think Georgia could absolutely give up 23 points in a game like Tennessee. You look at a game like Clemson to open the year. Absolutely. I do not think Georgia's going to give up 23 points in that game. So that's why I say I don't know that I think it might be 5, but I think you might end up with a situation where Mississippi State scores 24 points against Georgia and Georgia wins 35-24, gets one of those double-digit wins that you were talking about earlier. The game's never really in doubt, but oh, by the way, Mississippi State's offense looked pretty good. Auburn's offense maybe looks pretty good this year, and Georgia gets it. So I don't necessarily know that it's going to be the same games you point to and go, which are the games that Georgia could lose, or which are the games Georgia's not going to win by double digits. I don't think it's the same games.
Yeah, it's not the same. No,
I think there's some outliers in there.
I think you're right. I think Georgia at home is a hard one to give up double digits. I think, or give up over 23 points. So on the road is what we're looking at, and the ones that stick out: Alabama, Texas, Ole Miss on the road. 23 points. Seems like those teams can put up 23 points. Okay, so that's 3 already. Then you got 2. Auburn coming to our place is a different game than Jordan-Hare. I understand that. Mississippi State could travel well. And all of a sudden, that Tennessee game, once more. I know the last time they were down in Athens didn't bode so well for them. But
it was a different defense. That's the 2022 Georgia defense, Clint. That's not the same thing. That ain't it. That ain't who that was.
I've been so absolutely spoiled. I'm a spoiled brat when it comes
to it. You are. It's important. The first step is recognizing it.
You got any more before we end today?
No, I think we're good. I think
That's
we
fantastic.
call it there. I mean,
crushed
listen,
it.
we'll be back again tomorrow, Clint. We got
Let's do it.
we got a whole week's worth of shows that we're gonna
Maybe
get
off
to
season for us.
here on the Locked On Bulldogs podcast. We got plenty to talk about. Until then, he is Clint. I am Daniel, and we'll see you guys next time.
See you.